everybody, it's Ryan with Cutting Edge, and I wanted to make a video since it's leaf season here in the Midwest. Actually, leaves have already started falling, so time to make some bags for our grass catchers. So we've got a grass catcher or accelerator bagger, grass gobbler, depending on what you use. Using this, it only holds like, I don't know, 3 bushels or 2 bushels or something like that. 3.3 bushel or 3.3 cubic feet or something like that. It's not very much. So instead, we use these. This is a Harbor Freight tarp that has been sealed and then flipped inside out, and then this can actually go over the top of the opening on our cage right here and then bungee to it. And then this now extends the amount of clippings, whether it be grass or leaves or any kind of debris, by an extensive amount. And then when you're done, this bag is so large that you can use it to basically store your leaves, put it on your trailer. You could dump it at the dump, or you can dump it into your trailer if you have a way to do that, or even just dump it at the curbside if you're using a billy goat. This is maybe one way to get the leaves out, especially if you're doing backyards and it's hard to move all the leaves to the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it takes to make it. It's very simple. The tools that you'll need are going to be zip ties, a tarp, and some duct tape. So roll of duct tape, zip ties, and the tarp right there that you're seeing is just a 7x9 tarp from Harbor Freight. I think all in total, this is like $10. All right, so I went ahead and laid out the tarp, opened it up. I'm actually examining this tarp versus that tarp down there. These were the same tarps, but this one looks a little bit different dimensions. But it came from the same place, same dimensions. So it may actually end up being a different size. Maybe they packaged them differently. So this is a 7x9. We're gonna get started. So the first thing you want to do is fold the tarp over in half, just like this. So we have the eyelets. They'll line up sort of all the way along here. You want to go ahead and zip tie them all. So pretty straightforward process, not too complicated. Do the corners first. I think it's a good idea to get yourself started. Zip tie them tight. Once we're done zip tying all these, we'll come through and we'll cut them all. Cut all the excess off. We'll obviously leave the zip ties tied. And just cut off the extra. I don't feel like doing a whole lot of editing in this video. I'm not likely going to fast forward it. So if you wish to skip ahead to other parts of the video, you're more than welcome to if you feel like you kind of understand the concept of this. But one thing to note is we want to leave one side open, right? Because that's the side that's going to go over our grass gobbler or our catcher. So on the ends, on this particular tarp, there's only one besides the corner for an eyelet. So zip tie it. So we've got one zip tie down here, we've got the corner, and then these along the ends, right? Pretty good there. And we have it open on the end. We have nothing here. And that's how we're going to leave that for now. We're going to go get some cutters. We're going to cut these off. Just cutting off. Just cutting it off right there. That way we don't have anything hanging off. It'll be in our way when we go to do the next step. Sorry if my voice is a little raspy and I got some sniffles. Getting over a cold. It's been fun. I love end of summer colds. Great. All right. So the next part is duct tape. We want to go long ways along the seam here. We just want to duct tape this kind of like half, half on one side, and it'll fold over. So kind of like that. And in that way, when you fold it over, now you don't want to fold it over yet. I say it's best to try to get yourself lined up and get your half on one side of the tarp all the way down, because we're gonna reinforce this quite a bit. So don't worry that this is like the only tape or something that's going to go on here, the only way it's going to be held. So then, fold over the seam. No part of this needs to be perfect. I really do mean that. So it's not fancy or special. We're going to go back through this. Actually, we don't have a seal here, but that's okay. Like I said, this is not the end-all be-all to your seal. All right, so then we'll do the last part right here at the end. All right. We've got kind of a seal, just a basic seal all the way around. So now the tedious part comes. But you can already tell we're getting there. So I'm going to show you the tedious part. So we're going to go against the grain here, right? We're going to go around like that. Now that was a large piece, but it's on the corner, so I kind of like it to be a little bigger there. But beyond that, you're just going to keep tearing little pieces, overlap them, you know, just to slide them out. That way you know you have a good seal. You don't want, you're going to have debris and stuff, even though this is going to be inside. So we're going to pull this inside out, and your seam with your tape and your zip ties and everything else is going to be actually on the inside of the bag, not exposed. But you're still going to be throwing leaves or debris in there. So the minimal amount of debris that you can get stuck on your tape and potentially get underneath it and wear it out and get it wet and the tape wants to come off, it's probably better. Though these bags, in my experience, depending on the terrain that you're using them on, you know, if you've soft grass, you know, lush yards, nice yards, you're going to get a lot more longevity out of them. Probably go a whole season with one bag, to be honest with you. Might be a little hard just because of your pull points. When you have this mounted to your catcher, you're going to have some weight. You're going to be pulling the weight of this bag with your mower across the ground. So the easier it glides, you know, the less it's going to pull on where you have it mounted. Hey, we're to the corner. We're getting so close. Thanks for hanging in there. It's really about a 10-minute process. It's just a very tedious one. Just a very tedious process. All right, so we're on our last few pieces here. Oof, that one was a huge piece of tape. We've almost made it. I think we've been at this for about 10 minutes. Maybe less, maybe it just feels like 10 minutes. I think 10 minutes is a pretty safe bet. Now, as far as the size of the bag goes, like again, this is a 7x9. So you can kind of use it as a good judge for, you know, maybe you want to use a bigger one, maybe you want to use a smaller one. Okay. So now it's in no way some fancy doing. These are going to be, you know, a seasonal item. You know, it's $10 to make, so you're going to make it once. You might go through it in one season, so there's no reason to be perfect. Just get it functional. So we taped the entire seam. We zip tied the entire seam. I don't know if I like that. And we now can do it inside out. Okay, so we're going to move the camera a little bit here. All right, so we're going to go inside out. Get all up in there, grab a hold of it, pull it through. All right. So now about where I'd want it. I really wouldn't have a whole lot of modification here, right? So I just pull it tight. We can puncture a hole right through it, zip tie, right? And then I'd like to tape it just a little bit of extra, and then you're good. All your tension points are going to be here, not here. So you're not worried about that zip tie coming loose. It shouldn't have really any issue. And you're going to have some if you're like pulling on it a lot, but it shouldn't be hard. And then so that will stay there. And then when it's moving, it won't come off here. You know, it'll be too tight. And if you use good bungees, not necessarily this one, like I said, this is not a great example of a bungee, but you can see where I have it there. You can see how I have it there. I had to do some crazy nonsense just to kind of show you. And this will just hook it to your motor and it'll just keep filling up. We used them last year, worked really good. That's the gist of it. Again, this was a 7x9, and the opening is just enormous, right? So maybe a 5x9 would be a better choice. A 6x9, 6x8, something like that. The 7 foot is just a little bit too much, and I'm just so confused. These are the same size. I don't know. So so that's basically it. That's the gist of it. That's what it will look like. That's how it'll work, and you can fill up so many more leaves. I hope for how all over the place maybe this video was, this is helpful to you, and yeah, happy hunting on those leaves. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll be uploading more videos.